ICANN. My energy level is a bit low, so I'll be very short because it's my 50th ICANN meeting. So in the beginning it was different. We didn't have at-large ALSs, and we did have not even an election, if I can recall, of at-large members and board directors did take place. But there's always this fabric of representation of public interest within ICANN, and the fact that these are the venues on which ICANN was initially built. So it's really good to see now representatives that further represent that public interest and that the community is growing, and as well as ALSs. So with that, I'll thank you again and wish you a very good evening.
So for our next event, we'll speed dial her number for sure. Our next speaker is Keith Drevik from VeriSign.
Thank you and good evening. My name is Keith Drevik. I'm with VeriSign, also the chair of the Registries Stakeholder Group in the GNSO. I see some very familiar and friendly faces out there, and thank you very much for this opportunity. I want to thank Olivier for reaching out to me recently, but he and I have actually been working very closely together along with the other leaders of the various SOs, ACs, SGs, and Cs, supporting organizations, advisory committees, stakeholder groups, and constituencies. I do have to say that the experience that we've had over the last, I think, really 3 months, maybe 4 months, and it's gone on longer than that, but it's been very, very intense over the last 3 months of our engagement in talking about the IANA transition and the ICANN accountability process and all of these different moving parts, has really brought the community together, the community leaders and the community together around some core and key principles. And that is the bottom-up, multi-stakeholder, consensus-based process. And I do have to say that I feel like just in the last several months, we as a community have broken down silos, and that we have developed newfound respect for each other's positions and visions and views, and the reasons that we're all here as part of this ICANN community. And so when Olivier reached out to me and asked if VeriSign would be able to support this very important NARALO event, I said, absolutely, let me take this back and let me see what I can do. So I am very pleased to be here. I look forward to working with all of you. The friendly faces that I know and the new faces that I don't yet know, I hope I get to know you. Certainly welcome to Alan as the incoming chair. Thank you very much. I'll just wrap. Thanks.
Okay, we have one more story to tell you, and our other ALS, the AE Association of Manitoba, is Tony.
Tansei, Ani, Niigani Gaba Ayabe, Tishnaka. My name is Anthony Niigani, and my spirit name is Leading Male Buffalo. I was honored with the Buffalo clan name. I come from the community of Peninsula Cree Nation in the Keewatin Tribal Council region. I am Swampy Cree. So you can Google Swampy Cree and learn a little bit more about me. And one of the things that we do at the Manitoba E Association is we help communities build the E capacity of their community members, their communities, and businesses. And as Indigenous people find, and as many people know, is we have a history beyond time immemorial. Our history is in our language, the spoken word. In order to understand what we say, you must take the time to listen, to hear, and to take away that lesson that you find in the story. Because we do not tell you the lesson, we provide you the story to help you find that answer for yourself. And so, as part of the Manitoba Association, we like to work with young people, work with youth. And one of the projects that I did is called eStories. We've heard of the Digital Storytelling Project, but when you go to Aboriginal communities, we live in what can be called third world conditions, in what may be called a first world country. A project that I did a couple of years ago, and many of you know my colleague who I did this project with, Darlene Thompson, who also is an ALS within the ICANN community. We went to Nunavut, and we taught young people how to use the tools of ICT to tell their story. And I want to share with you one of those stories from Nunavut. Very good.
My name is Nick Makba. The title of the story is called My Hometown. I live in a community where the population is about 800, and everybody knows everybody there. It's very small. And every tourist and workers come up here and they would say it's one of the nicest places in the world so far. Which I would like to stay like that for as long as possible. And the scenery is one of a kind. During spring, the place would start to fog up, and it's just magical. And the hunting grounds are a place of wonders. Makes you wonder how many of my family members have come here and wonder the same thing. I have caught my first polar bear, my first narwhal, my first seal on the hunting grounds. On the mountains surrounding the community, you would see for miles and miles. It helps you to think how lucky you are to be living here. I have my family here with their brothers, sisters, and cousins, sharing the scenery with trust and care. We don't have a lot in our community. We only have 2 stores, no restaurants, no Walmarts, and no big buildings, nobody rushing, just calm place to be in. The best part about my community is we have our own language and keep our culture with modern tools. We only speak English when spoken to, and we speak Inuktitut mostly. I have grown up most of my life here, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. I love this land. I will never forget it. My memories, my experience, my friends and family will go away, but one thing I do know, they will always come back here. I call this place my home, but most people call it amazing, quiet, calm, but mostly they call it Arctic, my hometown.
So we can see, by giving them the tools, they're able to tell their stories. Indigenous people have been given the greatest gift in history, and that is to be the stewards of the environment. The people with the knowledge to defend and protect Mother Earth. We are the brothers and sisters of the winged people, the winged nations, the birds, the sky. We are the brothers and sisters of the four-legged, the animals of the earth. We are the brothers and sisters of the water, the fish, and we are all connected. Before the wireless came in, we understood that there was a connection between each and every one of us. The internet is just an opportunity to strengthen that connection between us all. For the first time in our history, we are globally connected to each other. So as stewards of the environment, we can bring to the internet environment a knowledge that has been built upon millions of years. Through our stories, through our language, through our greetings, through our names. I came to ICANN at the Singapore meeting. I was brought into ICANN through a special mentorship program, and it was a great honor. And like many of the fellows that come to ICANN for the first time, it was a wall of information. I know that information overload. I can understand it now. I can hear people telling me, be prepared for it, be prepared for it. You can never be prepared for it. You just got to come into it. And then they took me to London, where I started to learn more. And it was just before the London meeting that Manitoba Association became an ALS, an at-large structure. So now we can be the voice of not only Manitobans in Canada, but of the 400 First Nation Indigenous communities within Canada. And I am honored to be that voice. Today, I'd like to open the door for youth. The mentorship program is an opportunity to be expanded to bring Indigenous youth to the table. Let us work together. Let us walk hand in hand. Let us build a universe that connects us all. Thank you.
We're wrapping up really soon. Constantine, and he has drink tickets for the bar. I'd just like to pass to Eduardo to acknowledgements, and then a very short introduction of our dancer by Loris. Okay?
Thank you. I will have a negative 1 minute to do this. So I really like to thank Glenn and the team that work in putting this stuff together. Definitely, I want to thank staff, mostly Gisela, which I hear is what?
And the whole team.
Oh, the whole team, including me. And there is a show that is coming. She will be introducing them, and I want to acknowledge them and his team. And like I said, we are one internet, one world that includes First Nation. Thank you.
We have a special performance tonight by Derek Suwema Davis, who comes from my village, from the Hopi Reservation. He is part Choctaw. He'll be doing a hoop dance for you tonight, and I think it's going to be in the back. But before Derek and his singers come in, I also want to introduce